So in this video we are going to discuss about lateral stability of beams. So lateral stability. So stability is important for a beam. Okay, without stability the beam is going to fail before reaching its full potential. Something like this. Let me take an example. So there is a column here. This is a general example. So let me take a column. And this is perfectly vertical. So when a load P is applied, it is going to withstand. When P is P max, the maximum allowable load, at that particular load only this column is going to fail either by crushing or crippling. Okay, so a column is going to fail here because the load had reached its maximum value. And similarly, take an same column but it is inclined a bit to a side, and now a load P is acting. So even though this P is less than P max, this column is going to fail because of the shift force and centroid. So what is here is the first column has stability, and whereas this second column lack that stability. But of course we are here talking about beams and beam lateral stability. So let me take a beam and explain you that. So consider a beam of I section. So we know that a beam loaded mostly in flexure would attain its full movement capacity only if the local and lateral instabilities of the beam are prevented. So I told you that MP, plastic movement, is the maximum movement that a plastic section can take. So remaining sections are going to fail before plastic movement is developed in a particular beam, right? For example, take a slender beam, class 4. That slender beam is going to fail in buckling even before it reaches the plastic movement. And in case of semi-compact, the same thing is happening, right? So a beam can only attain its full potential. Okay, it can take the maximum load only when local and lateral instabilities of the beam are prevented. అంటే లోకల్ అండ్ లాటరల్ ఇన్స్టెబిలిటీ వల్ల అందులో మ్యాక్సిమం లోడ్కి మనం అప్లై చేయకపోయినా సరే ఆ పర్టికులర్ బీమ్ అనేది ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇట్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు ఫెయిల్. Okay, to ensure that the cross section of the flanges and web of the beam chosen must be plastic or compact. So unless we go for plastic or compact, this is not going to happen. I mean, the stability is not going to come to the beam. Here I'm talking about local instabilities and lateral instability. Okay, so let me talk about these lateral and local instabilities. Okay, so how a beam is going to fail before it reaching its maximum potential, full potential, okay, or full moment capacity. So consider this figure here. What is happening in this place is failure of web. This is local web failure. Web is going to fail, leading to the failure of the beam. Okay, so see here, this is an I section. Because of the load, it is going to buckle. Just like columns, I told you that the web is similar to something like a column, right? So it is going to buckle, or it is going to cripple at the joint of flange and web. So these are the two types of failures which happen locally. Local. And we are talking about lateral instability. So this is local instability. Of course, this is the local instability in web. So lateral instability means, let me take this beam, and I told you this is the longitudinal direction and this is the transverse direction, but there is another direction which is called as lateral. So what is going to happen here is, because of the load that is acting on this beam, what happens is this beam is going to deform laterally. See here. And because of that, lateral torsional buckling is going to be seen. This is called as lateral instability. Because of lateral instability, this is going to happen. What is that? This beam, this is the elevation, this is an I section. There is a load acting and there is a moment that is developed at the ends, and this beam is bending down. But while it is bending in the vertical plane, see the plan. On the horizontal plane also, it is trying to twist because of the lateral instability. It is going to twist. So this causes the failure of a member. So local failures are going to be limited at a particular section. Okay, we are calling them as local because those failures in the web are seen at a particular section in a beam. For example, you can see here, this is a steel beam. Let me take, this is the span, right? This is the span of the section, I section, and at this particular section, the web may buckle or cripple. That is local because the failure is limited to this particular section. But when you see this lateral instability torsional buckling, the entire section is going to undergo rotation. It is going to rotate, right? Along with the lateral displacement, it is going to twist in the lateral direction. Okay, so this is how a column will fail because of the instability. Okay, so this is what happens even in the construction activity also. So when beams are present in larger size, when the span of the beam is large, even though the beam is running from column to column, I mean, let me take this. See, there is a column here, there is a column here. When a beam is running from one column to other, when the span is large, okay, even though the columns are at the ends, since the beam is very large, there is an instability in the beam, and when there is a load acting on this beam in the transverse direction, it is going to undergo lateral torsional buckling. Okay, and to avoid that, what we do is we use the secondary beams. See, for example, the column is here and other support is here. This is the span of the beam. There is a support here and there is a support here. This span is somewhat large. So now to reduce the instability, what we do is we provide these secondary beams in lateral direction. These are secondary beams. So what happens when you provide these secondary beams? This long beam will have a stability, Because of that stability, you do not find this lateral torsional buckling happening in that particular section. Okay, so if the laterally unrestrained or laterally unsupported length of the compression flange of the beam is very large, the phenomenon known as lateral buckling or lateral torsional buckling of the beam going to take place. అదే కదండి నేను ఇక్కడ అన్నాను, ఇఫ్ ది laterally unsupported length of the compression failure. అంటే ఇప్పుడు బీమ్ తీసుకుంటే కంప్రెషన్ ఫ్లేంజ్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? టాప్. సో వెన్ దిస్ బీమ్ ఈజ్ అన్సపోర్టెడ్, అంటే ఇప్పుడు సెకండరీ బీమ్స్ మనం సపోర్ట్ పెట్టకుండా లాటరల్ మూమెంట్ని, లాటరల్ స్టెబిలిటీని మనం ప్రొవైడ్ చేయకపోతే దాన్ని ఏమంటాము? అన్సపోర్టెడ్. లాటరల్లీ అన్సపోర్టెడ్ లెంత్ అనేది ఎక్కువ అయితే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే దాట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు buckle in the lateral direction or lateral torsional buckling. Okay, just only lateral buckling can take place in some situations, and in some situations lateral torsional buckling also take place. అంటే lateral buckling అంటే the beam is going to go in this way. This is the elevation. This is the elevation. And what happens in torsional lateral buckling? When it is going on the formation laterally, it is also going to twist. Okay, it is also going to rotate, just not deflection in the lateral direction, it is going to rotate. So in such a case the beam would fail even before it attains its full movement capacity. That is not what we want. That is what we need to avoid from happening. Because of that the beam is going to fail, right? So what we do is we provide stability to the beam. We have to provide stability to the beam. So this phenomenon has a close similarity to the Euler's buckling of column. This seems to be like the buckling that you have seen in the columns for the long columns, right? So beams may also fail by local buckling or local failure, shear yielding of web, local crushing of the web, or buckling of thin flanges. And these are all can be prevented by providing stiffener or additional flange plates. These additional flange plates or stiffeners helps us to avoid this local crushing of web or buckling of these thin flanges. Okay, so by using stiffeners or flange plates you can avoid these local failures.